That
Don't be difficult with me in the questions.
hey, it's not a theology test.
I feel now I'm going to something very 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 big. There is the police and there is the army, and they want to also to ask me about my mission here in Taybeh. So I'm ready for that. No worries. I'm Palestinian, so it's it's
Okay.
it's it's not it's normal and usual for me. I can do it. No problem.
Okay. All right. All right. No, that's good to hear.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Two Priests and Palestine. This is a podcast of interviews and story sharing that sheds light on the current reality of Palestine. My name is Jerlyn Henry, and with me as co host is Jeff Nowers. We are both priests in the Anglican Diocese of Toronto. In December 2025, Jeff and I traveled to Palestine on a solidarity pilgrimage to the West Bank. We went there to meet with Palestinians to listen, learn, and bear witness, so that after returning home, we might be more effective ambassadors of Palestinian liberation. We spent a day in the town of Taybeh, one of the last Christian towns remaining in Palestine. It has been a Christian town since the earliest centuries of Christianity. And surrounding Taybeh are illegal Israeli settlements, and Taybeh has become a target of settlers. The town is under attack and is facing an existential crisis. An important leader who's calling attention to the reality is Father Bashar Fawadleh. Father Bashar is a Roman Catholic priest and the pastor of Christ the Redeemer parish in Taybeh. When we were in Taybeh, we had the privilege of spending time with him, and he hosted us for lunch. Over the last 6 months, Jeff has kept in contact with Father Bashar. Jeff, what can you tell us about that?
Well, even before we left for Palestine, I was aware of Father Bashar, and I was hoping that when we were in Palestine, we'd have the opportunity to meet with him in Taipei. So I'm really glad that all worked out, and we were able to do that. Father Bashar has one of the most, I think, difficult parish assignments imaginable. And when we got back to Toronto, I immediately reached out to him, and we've been kind of in contact ever since. Yeah, the people in my parish they pray regularly for his parish, and Bashar has been sending me updates on settler attacks on Taipei. Uh, and, with each new report, things are more and more disturbing. Not many people outside of Palestine have even heard of Taybeh. So it's very good that Father Bashar is with us today to shed light on the situation for all our listeners. So, Father Bashar, Abuna,
Yeah.
thank you for setting aside time to be with us, and welcome to Two Priests and Palestine.
Um, Thank you very much, Jaren. Thank you very much, Jeff, for your introduction. It's much appreciated for myself to be with you. It's a big pleasure for me to be with you in these podcasts, and it's something like to be beside the Palestinians and beside the people who's under the very bad circumstances and situations. So much appreciated for your commitment, your prayers, your dedication, and I'm so happy to be with you.
Great to have you with us. Why don't we jump right in? And I'm wondering if we could start by let's go back a few years, turn back the clock. Uh, Tell us where did you grow up, and what was life like for you as a kid, as a teenager? And I'm also wondering, when did you get the idea that you wanted to be a priest?
Uh, if you may add, I was born in 1987 during the First Intifada.
Sure.
And I was born in Jerusalem, but unfortunately, I don't have the Jerusalem ID because my parents don't have the Jerusalem ID SIM. So I was growing in a small village near Ramallah in the western area of Ramallah. It's called Abud. Abud, it's between Tel Aviv and Jaffa, to the way from Jaffa and Tel Aviv to Ramallah in the oldest way that a lot of pilgrimage since thousands of years used to using this way. to go to from Abud to Jaffa, and from Jaffa to Abud and to Ramallah or to Jerusalem in the same way. So I'm growing up from Abud in Abud from 87 until 96, and in 96 my parents decided to go to migrate internal immigration from Abud to Ramallah. And from 1996, my family and my parents, and now my sisters and my brother, used living in Ramallah with their families and their kids and everything. So until now, all my family decided to be in Palestine, in West Bank, and to be also to be present here, not to migrate, even that we are facing a lot of difficulties and a lot of circumstances that very bad. In the year of 2000, I decided to go to the Latin seminary. So during the first Intifada, I was born as a human being. During the second Intifada, I was born as a spiritual born, and that I chose to be. I used to chosen to be a priest one day, but I was 12 years old. So I entered to the Latin seminary as a minor seminary, and in 2000, in the year of 2000 until 2003. In 2003, because the situation, because of the Intifada and all of these circumstances, we came back home, all the students, in the minor seminary, the people from Jordan, they came back to Jordan, and the people from Palestine, they came back to their parishes in Palestine, and we continue our life because there is no visas for the Jordanian people and Jordanian students to continue their studies in the seminary. So and I came back also after that, 1 year after, we came back to the seminary, and I finished high school in 2005. So all of that during the intifadas. So first intifada and second intifada, and my life is growing. And me and myself in all dimensions are growing in the cultural, in the educational, in the social, in the political issues that that is surrounding me, and all of that I'm still growing. So the two pillars that I was between it, the first intifada and second intifada. And unfortunately to say it, maybe this is also another cross. I was ordained priest in 2014 during the same night that the Israeli soldiers and the army entered to Ramallah and attacked the people in Ramallah in that night. So this is another cross also that I put into my shoulders and follow until now Jesus. So this is my life that is a briefing life that I want to share it with you, that we Palestinian people live under the cross, under the feet of the cross since years. And we still also put the shoulders in our shoulder and put the cross on our shoulders and follow Jesus to the Golgotha. But the Golgotha, we believe, and because we are Christians and we are believers, we believe that the cross is not the end. The cross is not the end for the death. The cross is the beginning for the new life and for the third day and for the new life and for the empty tomb. And until now, we are awaiting the third day. The third day, that means liberation, that means freedom, that means rights, because we don't have all of these rights. I'm now in Taybeh. Taybeh, it's located in the eastern area of Ramallah and Jerusalem. Among 15 villages, that all of these villages they are Muslims, and we are the only villages that we are Christians, and we are the entirely and last Christian village in the area of West Bank, Jerusalem, and Gaza. So all of that's happening because there is a providence of God. So providence of God, going with me in everywhere, and because always our priests who were in the seminary as a priest formation, they told us always, you have to pray before you will go. So when you pray before you will go, everything will be as comfortable for you. You will know the people very well. You will love the people very well. They love you. They will be with you. No problem about that. You have to put all of your life between the hands of God. So all that's happening with me. I feel that I'm blessed. I'm blessed because I'm with the people. I don't need anything for myself. I need just something for the people. I have to raise my voice, advocacy voice, about what's happening inside Taybeh and inside the area. So I arrived to Taybeh in 2021. The first 2 years was very comfortable. There is nothing. It was very beautiful life that I have the pastoral activities. I have the pastoral visits for the parishes in their homes, and I had a lot of sacraments, a baptism, a wedding, and all of that. That's the normal life for any priest from around the world. But when 7 October become before and after 7 October, everything was very complicated, and become very complicated because the settlers, the fanatic and extremist settlers, they became to be beside our homes, to attack our homes, and this is the fourth cross that I have to put in my shoulder and to follow Jesus another time to the Golgotha. So all the time that I have also to put the shoulders to put this cross in my shoulder, and to put the cross of the community in my shoulder, because always that the people need someone to help, as Simon the Caravan. So I need someone who can help me. But I believe that in everything that I have, in every step that I take it, Jesus is with me. So I can bring the cross and put it in my shoulder and follow Jesus to the Golgotha. Until now, we are awaiting to finish everything, to have all of these rights: rights to live, rights to move, rights to play, rights to learn, rights to travel, rights to come, rights to go, rights, all of these rights that we don't feel that these rights have it for the Palestinian and for the Palestinian people since the years. So I believe that also I believe that I'm one who in the missionary. So in the missionary, that means that I'm not in Africa or in Asia or anywhere else in South Africa or South America. I'm here in Palestine in mission. So my mission here to be beside the people, my mission here to hear the people, to listen for them, to watching the people, to watch at the people, and to be with the people in all dimensions. Because the church is present always. As I told you before, that the church is present always. In the peace, the church is present. In the war, the church is present. In the catastrophe, the church is present. In everywhere, the church is present, because the church is the church. That means God is present in everywhere, and God is present in all the situations, because we believe that we have to put our mission, our charity, in all the dimensions of it. So myself as a priest, I'm not just a priest here. I'm a priest. I'm economic people. I'm a fundraiser. I'm the people who help the people. To be beside the people, to play with them, to go with them, to be as a people who thinking how we can also raising our voice, how we can also growing with the cultural preservation, how we can also going with the history, how we can also archaeological preservation for the people, and especially for the ruins from the 5th century. All of that belong to me. Where I am, it's belong to me. And where I am also, this place, it's not just belong to me. I belong to this place. I belong to these people. I belong to the all of the people in my community and the surrounding villages, even that Muslims or Jews or anyone else, Samaritan Jews, anyone else. I believe that I belong to them,
Mm.
because we are human beings. And as Pope Francis said in their letter, in his letter, we are all brothers. Siamo fratelli tutti. Okay, so
Mhm.
all of that's very important for me, and this is what that means. We are church.
Thank you, Father Bashar. Thank you, Abuna. Can you, for our listeners, kind of like locate us a little? How big is the town? What? And then we've heard about area A, area B, area C. About one third of Taipei is situated in area B, and the remaining two-thirds in area C. What does that mean for those who really don't know? How does this
Okay,
impact those who are living in the town?
if you come back to the agreement of Oslo, and before that, negotiation of Madrid, and the agreement of Paris, of economic agreement of Paris in 1993, and before and after all of these years, Palestinians President Arafat and Israeli Prime Minister at that time, Shimon Peres, signed an agreement. It's in Oslo, in Norway. This agreement, it's an agreement of peace. agreement of peace and agreement for the Palestinian people to have own state. So this agreement composed West Bank, and Jerusalem, and actually West Bank and Gaza in the areas, Area A, Area B, and Area C. So when we want to talk about Area A, we are talking about the biggest city in West Bank, look like Bethlehem, Hebron, Ramallah, Nablus, Tulkarem, Jenin, Kalkilia. So the seventh, or Salfit, the seven or eight, and Jericho also, 8 or 9 cities, big cities. This is Area C, Area A. Area A, that means the Palestinian Authority, they located in their offices, their securities, their police, their civil firefighters, all of that that's located in and the presidential house in that area. Area B and C composed by the villages. So the villages surrounding the biggest cities, for example, here in Taybeh, we are surrounding Ramallah. So we are in the eastern area of Ramallah, but we are composed by 2 areas, Area B and Area C. Area B, there is a Palestinian firefighters station, there is police station, and there is also security station for the Palestinian security. So all of that's composed by that. But if we would to, for example, to build any construction or any building in Area B, I have to go to Palestinian Authority. But if I would to go to build in Area C, I have to go to the Beit Il, that means the COGAT office or coordination office in Ramallah, or in any places like Salim in Jenin, or like Asyon in Bethlehem. So Area B, it's also can the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian police can also move in it with the small coordination with the Israelis and with the coordination with COGAT. Area C, if there is anything happened in Area C, the Palestinian police or the firefighters cannot arrive to the area without any coordination with the Israelis. So, and Taybeh, it's the majority of the land of Taybeh composed by Area C. From here, from Taybeh to Jericho, all of this land, certificated land for the people of Taybeh from Ottomani Empire period until now, it's a certificated land. But unfortunately, this land is now occupied. And this is Area C. Our olive fields composed by Area B and Area C. But the majority of our olive trees composed by Area C. That means 70% of our land composed by Area C. When we are talking about the attacks of the settlers and the fanatic and the extremist settlers, they are coming always. They are coming from Area C to Area B to put more fear, and to put in the mind of our people, that you have to leave from your own mentality, from your own thinking, that you are not originally this land, so you have to leave. And when they put the attacks, they burn the fire in the cars and all of that, we can talk about it. They went to the Area B, and they making a lot of our life difficulties, and we are in scary and in fear. So Area A, Area B, and Area C composed by Oslo Agreement, 1993. And Area A, it's the biggest cities. Area B and C in the villages surrounding the biggest cities. Now, unfortunately to say that, Ben Gvir, the minister of Ben Gvir, and Smotrich, 2 ministers, the fanatic and the extremist ministers, they want to remove all of these areas to be one area for the state of Judah, or to create the kingdom of Israel.
Tell us, Abuna, how many settlements are there around you? Like from Taybeh, how many settlements?
Surrounding Taybeh, if we are talking about the settlements from 67, after the war of 67, there is 4 settlements, 4 illegal settlements in Rimonim in the eastern area, and Kohav HaShahar in the eastern area. And there is also another settlements in the western area, Ofra and Amuna. All of the 4 settlements, they built on the land of Taybeh. Actually, the Palestinians built the houses inside these settlements. Actually, we get permission to go to the settlements to work there, and to get money, to get salary. So our problem is not with the people who's inside these settlements, because we didn't face any problems from these settlers from 67 until 2000 or 2020, 21, 22. But what we are facing now, it's not from these settlers who would to remove ourselves, but with the fanatic and extremist mentality from the fanatic and extremist settlers under the umbrella of two ministers, Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, would to remove the other, would not to accept the other in the land, and also would also to critical the others and to make their life very difficult, to kick them out from this land and to occupy more land for themselves. So what we are facing, it's very systematic and planned movement. They are not spontaneous movement as the fanatic settlers. They creating a huge plan for West Bank and especially in the areas of C and B. They would also to concentrate it to kick the Bedouins, first of all, the Bedouins out from the land, to kick the Palestinian out from their homes, and to stolen a lot of sheep, a lot of animals from themselves, from the Palestinian, and to put their caravans, their tents, first of all, as a new outpost for themselves, and after that to destroy the agricultural life for the Palestinians, to change the demography and the not demography, the geography of the Palestinian villages, and after to turn off the fire, to burn off the fire, to burn the fire inside the agricultural land as empty land, and to burn off the fire in the cars and vehicles, and to go inside the economic location that, for example, like cement factory or curry stones crusher in the western area of Taybeh. Why? They would also to destroy the economic of Palestinian people. They would to destroy the agricultural life for the Palestinian people to not get any income from anywhere.
You know, you're anticipating what I was going to ask you next, which is about these settler attacks. Uh, when we were there in Taipei, I think it was maybe a day or two previous. Settlers had lit a car on fire, and
Yeah.
when we were walking through the town, I noticed that somebody had come in, obviously a settler, and they had spray painted uh, letters, big letters on a wall in Hebrew. And I'm wondering if you can just elaborate on the nature of these attacks, because when people here in Canada might see, a wall spray painted with letters, and they might think, ah, you know what, it's just vandalism, no big
Mhm.
deal. We just paint over it. We find the person who did it, you put them in jail, and they won't do it again. It's a different
Good.
situation over there. Can you elaborate on the nature of these attacks, the harassment, the violence, and the terror that is affecting the town?
As I said before, this is a systematic and planned movement,
Mm.
and they use a very good strategy and stages of tactics. The first stage of tactics, they kick the Bedouins out from the areas that they would occupy. And they kick the Bedouins out and they put their caravans, they stole their caravans, their tents, and the spaces for sheep and for cows that's stolen by the Palestinians. This is the first stage of tactics. The second stage of tactics, they grazing the cows and the sheep inside the agricultural land. So we have to concentrate it about all of these stages that very important also to know it where they would also to arrive. They grazing the cows inside the land. They would to destroy the agricultural life. I can also share with you a small PDF about what's happening and what happened before and still happening inside Taipei. They destroyed the olive trees. They eating the olive trees. That means that would to be dry, not to be green. That means there is no fruits in the future. They forbidden ourselves to arrive to our land in the pre-season to blowing the land. So this is the second tactics. That's the third tactics. They burn the fire in the empty land, and this is very smart tactic. They said we don't know who burned the fire, but we are here because this is our land, as settlers said, and we have to distinguish the fire. So we are here to turn off the fire and to protect the land. So please, Palestinians and people of Taybeh, from the fire to the west, this is your land. But from the fire to east, this is our land. So don't come to our land. That's why we are forbidden to arrive to our land in the eastern area. So this is the third tactics of themselves. The fourth tactic, they burn the fire in the cars. They burn the fire in the cars by night always. They came and they burned the fire in the cars. Actually, 8 cars burned by the settlers from last July until last February. And they wrote the graffiti against the wall, on the wall, on the house, in the wall of the houses. They wrote a graffiti as a price tag, as a punishment, as integrated graffiti against the Palestinian as Palestinian. You will kill soon, you will be killed soon, you will be finished soon, you will be empty from this land. So all of that, that's because we are Palestinian, decide to be here and take the decisions to be here and to continue our life. This is the fourth tactics of themselves. The fifth tactic, and this is the target of themselves, they use the pistol, the gun, and the weapons to kill. So step by step, they put more scary, more fear inside the heart of the people, and would to kill the persons and would to kill the people to put in their minds and in the mind of our people, this land is not yours, you have to leave this land, so that we are bleeding of immigration. Already 15 families left from Taybeh before 7th of October, before 20, 21, 22, 20, 19, 18. We don't feel that we are not safe. Actually, we are under occupation since 67, but we don't feel that we are not safe.
Mm-hmm.
We are not safe now because the settlers, the fanatic radical settlers, who want to kill ourselves, they shooted last time when they burned fire in the mountains. They stolen the phones, they destroyed the cars, they hit the persons, and they shooted fire 3 times against ourselves. I was in the area. So this is the tactics and the strategy of themselves, step by step, stage by stage, to arrive to kill the persons.
I can only imagine that, you go to, because this is happening regularly, and you go to bed at night, and, your phone must be beside you. And do you get woken up at night and alerted to what's happening? Like, do you have to, do you leave and go out at night and face the reality of these attacks head on? How do you deal with this?
Look, I'm a priest. No, I'm a priest and I'm a human being. I'm a
Yeah.
priest and I in Corinthians, I'm an expert in Bible. So I know the history of salvation. I know the history of the Bible. I know the history of my people. I know the history of my country. So how I can deal with that? Just I pray, because I always concentrated in my prayers, and I believe that the prayers can make miracles, because we are Christians. We believe that. No, we believe that the prayers can make miracles, and when we believe that the prayers can make miracles, we can move the mountain from here to another mountain, to another way, to another place. So this is the way that I use it, and I have to put in my heart a hope. It's very important to be a Christian, to put in your heart a hope, hope to live, hope to continue your life, hope to continue your journey in the midst of the hardest time, hope to continue in your in your atmosphere, in where you are, that God chosen you to be here in Palestine, to continue all of that with hope. And this hope, it's a hope of the, not the Golgotha just, but it's the hope of the empty tomb. It's a hope of the good day. It's a hope of the new resurrection. It's a hope of, that's why we are Christians, and we are a people, not people of death, a people of the resurrection. So in the third day will be risen from the death, as Jesus Christ promised ourselves to be. And all of these things accomplished in my Savior, in my Redeemer, that means Jesus Christ. All the promises, all the prophets, all the history, all the all the things that happen, yani, all the things that we taught it in the Old Testament and in the history of salvation. The highest point of all of these is Jesus Christ himself, who's behind me. Jesus Christ in the highest point, and he's the accomplished of the promises and the prophets, and he is our Savior. We have to believe in him. We have to put our dreams in him, to put our our intentions in him, with him we can success, with him, in him we can raise our voice, we can be alive, and we can also be witnesses of Jesus Christ in the land, because we are the first generation of the church. Here,
Mm.
Taybeh is the first generation of the church, because we are, as great fathers and mothers, that we heard the preaching of Jesus from himself. He was in Taybeh. If you open St. John Gospel, chapter 11, verses 54, that Jesus left Jerusalem after the resurrection of Lazarus and came to the nearby of the desert, and to the city called Ephraim, because it was the safe place for him. Now we don't feel that this place is safe. So please come and see, and hear our stories, see our realities, and be with us, because we still believe that there is life for us in this land.
Thank you. We should rename this podcast Three Priests in Palestine. Thank you for that reminder of hope. One of the great ways to make movements and actually have change in the world is through hope. And you've kind of named that so well. Kind of honing in on your work as a priest, Father Bashar. We noticed when we were in Taipei that a lot of houses were empty and unoccupied, and
Yeah.
people have moved away where they go and look for safety. As a parish priest, we are sure you sit with those who are planning to leave. What does that pastoral conversation sound like? How do you say goodbye?
First of all, I blame myself when I see the people leaving.
Mm.
I blame myself. I don't blame them, because they are searching about a good future for them, for their kids, a safe place for them, for their kids, and the safety and security for themselves. So, as a priest, I do my best, and maybe over of my best, because here in Taipei, we are a church to be present for the good and to be the backbone of the people. How? We are working in all dimensions. So we have medical center as a healthcare dimension, medical center to creating jobs for the people and to help the people in the day, helping them in all the medical issues and all the medicines and something like. Also, we are caring about the education. So we have secondary school, and we have a kindergarten, and we are also accept all the people from surrounding villages, and accept students. That's why we have inside the school 70% of our students, they are Muslims, and 30% they are Christian. But this number was opposite 10 years ago. 70% that we are Christians, and 30% they are Muslims. Because of immigration, the bleeding of immigration, that's why we are also now increasing number of the Christians in the town. Third, we are also caring about the healthcare in the elderly home. We have elderly home for the Latin Patriarchate. We have online radio station as media dimension. We have online radio station and platform called Nabd al-Haya, Pulse of Life. And we have also a dimension of pilgrimage. We have guest house for the people. And we have places to the pilgrimage to visit. Parables House, for example, talking about 38 parables that Jesus teaching inside the Bible. And we have a cave for Saint Charles de Foucault, who was in Taipei in 1889, 1898, and 1900. And we have also ruins from the 5th century. And we have three academies: academy for football, academy for music, academy for dabke, as after school activities. Because after why we have all of these inside Taipei in the small community, we are talking about 1,208 persons. That's last statistics that we just have these statistics last month. Why we have all of these inside Taipei? For whom? To creating jobs as a permanent jobs for the people. So we have between 80 to 100 jobs as a permanent jobs for the people, Christians and Muslims. We also have creating job opportunities for as a temporary for between 25 to 5 to 50 persons inside Taipei for 3 months, for 6 months, or for 9 months, or in maximum for 1 year. Why we would also to tell for the people, we don't just give you money as a money. You can work 4 hours to 5 hours, $500 per month as a part time, and you can feel that you are in dignity. It's a dignity for you. I respect all of that. So we can also feel that we can help the people. And now we would also to we have also adding to the tuition fees tuition fees of the school for each the Palestinian Christian student. We covered 60% last year. We want to cover 60% next year as a tuition fees of the tuition fees. We help in the tuition fees of the universities for the school for the students. We help in the medicines. We support surgeries and operations because of the health insurance in Palestine is not very good at all. And we are also thinking uh, to reopen it ceramics workshop. Ceramics workshop that talking about ceramics. You know that the lamp of peace and the dove that distributing in the worldwide more than 100,000 pieces. That's handmade from Taybeh, handmade of the people of Taybeh. We want to create and recreate and reopen this ceramics workshop to create jobs for 10 women as women empowerment and a few number of the men. So we want to create all of that because we want to encourage the people to stay, not to leave. If we create all of that as a salary, as a money for them, to income for them, this is the first point that we are working for it. The second point is stability. The stability that means the houses. We have already the housing project. We want to start in it soon as a housing project, initiative housing project. For the first phase, we'll have 5 apartments, and the second phase will have 15 apartments. That means 20 apartments for 20 families to encourage them to stay. Third point, we're working with you through by your channels, through by your church, through by your leaders, and through by the diplomatic missions inside Holy Land and outside Holy Land to put more pressure on the Israeli side to stop all of these attacks by the settlers, to have the safety. That's all. To have the security. What we need, safety and security. We don't need anything else. We need to live in security and safety. Can you imagine how much is very easy? We need this. We need this kind of security and safety to live in it. So 3 pillars that are very important for ourselves. And we are still going and doing our best to be beside the people, to be the backbone of the people, and to coming with people also. Now, the hugest project of the church with the partners to create a hospital. Why? Because after the restrictions and the military barriers and gates between the villages and the city of Ramallah, because we have the only hospitals inside Ramallah. If we were to go to Ramallah, we need 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, depends the situation of the road, depends the checkpoints. If there is a delivery, there is a woman to want to deliver, there is no delivery room inside the eastern area of Ramallah. Right. We are talking about more than 60,000 people who live inside this area. So we want to create delivery room for them. We want to create ICU for them. We want to create dialysis room for them and a small hospital for the people in the eastern area of Ramallah for 15 villages. So this is the hugest healthcare that we want to create it. Maybe through by you also, through by your parishioners, the people, your audience can also help in all of that, and we can also accept all any kind of amount that you want also to help in these particular things for our people. And now after 25 years, we had a olive press machine in 2005. Now after 25 years, the olive press machine it's very old. We want to renew this olive press machine, to have it for the people of Taybeh, to be inside Taybeh, not to go outside of Taybeh to press the olive oil. Now we have the very, very good connection with the Italia consulate of Italy, Italian consulate in Jerusalem. Maybe we'll have this new olive press machine soon before the season of harvesting. So of that's happening through by the church. Why? And this is the important thing, because there is a confidence, because there is a trust, because there is audit, interior audit and exterior audit. And we are the church, the lead of any charity mission in the area of Holy Land. And we still have this privilege, and this is a privilege for ourselves, to help and to support and to be in commitment and dedication with the people and with our communities.
You know, Abuna, I'm amazed at what you're saying. You've sketched out this vision of hope, and just in light of what you've shared earlier about these attacks that are happening, you know, the terror that is surrounding the town. You know, you don't have a mentality of just trying to survive. Your mentality is not survival. It's to thrive. It's to thrive. It's to flourish. And yet, you know, these attacks continue to happen. Do you have some? You must have some days where you think this vision of hope that I have, all of these initiatives that I'd like to pursue that would benefit the town, that may not happen because of the Zionist radicals that are out to force everyone to leave. Does this worry you?
Um, I'm not doing something to survive
Yeah.
because I'm the discipline of Jesus Christ. I'm one of the disciples of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, they didn't come to survive. They came, or he came, to save, to protect, to give opportunity to live in peaceful, to give opportunity to be in dignity, to give opportunity for the people to continue their life with witnesses. And we are the witnesses of the new resurrection. We are the witnesses, and I do my best to be one of these good disciples of Jesus Christ. So I'm not here to survive. I'm here to give hope. And there is very big difference between survive and hope. To survive, that maybe to be in temporary, but to hope, to give hope, and to put hope into action, it's very huge gap between definition. Two definition, surviving or to hope, to put hope into action in everywhere. That means for forever and ever. But to survive, maybe it will be temporary for 10 years, for 5 years, or for a few years. We are here not just to survive. We are here to put hope into action and to give more opportunity for the people to stay, encourage them to continue their life, and encourage them also to be with them until the Golgotha. But the Golgotha is not the end; it's the
Mhm.
end. It's the new life and new resurrection and the empty tomb, and the third day. So this is my vision. Maybe this vision is very strong and very essential, but this is the main mission and the main message for the Christian community in the worldwide, not just in Palestine.
Uh, Um, I want to ask you as well, Abuna. You know, you're not the only priest in the town. There are,
No,
you know, you're with the Latin parish. There's a Melkite parish. There's
yes,
a Greek
Orthodox.
Orthodox parish. What are your ecumenical relationships like with the other clergy? Are you kind of a team together? How does this life together as priests work?
We work together. We have very good communication and relation. Actually, today in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, we'll have a meeting with the leaders for the summer camp, and the summer camp for the kids will be under the umbrella of the priests committee in Taybeh. And we have these ecumenical atmosphere between ourselves, because we believe that we have to be one, we have to be in unity, and we have also to prepare everything together. Actually, this is not the only thing that we prepare together as a summer camp, a small thing, but we also finalizing the Palm Sunday procession from Milkite to Latin to the Greek Orthodox, and finalizing every year the procession of the Palm Sunday in the St. George Church from the ruins from the 5th century. So all of that we are doing together. We are also a small committee, a priest committee with the municipality and the people of Taybeh. We are responsible of the cemetery inside Taybeh. So because the cemetery, it's not belong to any church, to one church, but also to belong to the three churches, and under the umbrella of the municipality. And we have a monthly meeting between each other, between ourselves, and we have these understanding from each to other, and we can also give more opportunity, give more hope between ourselves, and continue to live together. Actually, the last 3 months of job creation as a temporary, given by the Methodist Church in the United States through by the priest committee for 20 to 25 persons who would who used to work inside the civil and ecclesiastical association institution inside Taybeh. So all of that's happening because we are one, working for the good of the Taybeh, not for the good of ourselves.
Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship to the Bible and the way that you preach the Bible? Like when you preach at Mass or when you're kind of alone in your personal devotion, is there a scripture text or Christ's teaching that you find yourself returning to keep yourself grounded and to keep your parishioners anchored?
Look, yesterday and today, it's the memory of my ordination. And this is
Ah,
12 years of ordination, 2014 until 2026. And my beloved verses in the Bible, I consecrated my life for our people to put love inside the heart of the people. From St. John Gospel, chapter 17, verses 30 or 19 and 30 together. So this verse is it's very near to my heart, and I love these verses because I love Saint John Gospel, and actually I love the chapter of 17, and also I love Saint Mark. Saint Mark, the Gospel of Saint Mark, is the smallest chapters of the Bible and the Gospel. But I love this Gospel because it's very simple, but it's very profound. Yani, I can read it, but I cannot understanding if I cannot read it another time or another 3 or 4 or 5 times in the same day. So I have also to read it in profound, and I have also to meditate profound. For example, if I were to preaching in the Sunday, I preach inside day just between 4 to 6 minutes. That's enough.
mm,
I believe that I have to concentrate it in one thing, in one meaningful, in one meditation. For example, I have to. There is a gospel of the Good Shepherd. No, I have to concentrate it in the shepherd. What does that mean, shepherd? And I will meditate about that, and I will give it a synthesis, a briefing about the shepherd, and relate it to nowadays, how we can live like a good shepherd now in these days. So this is the way that I use it, and I just to thank my professors of the Bible, Father David Neuhaus. He's one of the biggest professor of the Bible, and he gave a lot for ourselves as students when we were students in the Latin seminary in Bejala.
we met with
This,
him. We
yeah,
met
he's
with him.
he's
Yeah, we
he's
had a meeting with
awesome.
him.
He's one of the best people that you can meet with, and he
Yeah.
gave a lot. He not just give us a teaching or something, a catechism or something as how to meditate, but he gave us life. He gave us love. He gave us to love the Bible, to put in your mind what is the system of the Bible, one by one, step by step, to understanding the Bible very good.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a wonderful insight into how you read scripture and just the spiritual grounding that you have. I wonder if I might ask you this question. You shared with us, your relationships and your cooperation with the other priests in the village. What are relationships like between the Christian community of Taipei and the surrounding villages that are Muslim? What are the Muslim Christian relationships like in the area?
Look, we are living together since a years. Not we are not living at a new new panorama for ourselves. We are living together since 1,000 years, no? I'm from Abud. Abud, it's a small village near Ramallah in the western area, as I told you. When
Yeah.
I was in Rambud, when I was kid in Abud, was child, I just sit in Friday. Friday, you know, that's Friday. It's a vacation for the Muslims, and there is a prayer, a special prayer for the Muslim in the mosque. After the prayers of the mosque in Abud, all the young men and all the elderly, the people who's after 60 and 70, came to my grandfather home in Abud and start to speak and to talk about and to discuss about the life in Abud, how we can live together. And I was child. I don't understand everything. I was 5 years, 6 years old. So, but until now, I was in happiness and joyful to hearing the people talking about that. And now I understand what that means to live together and what that means to be together as Muslims and Christians in the area. Always there's problems between the brothers. Between the same brothers, you can see problems, no? But the problems cannot create another problems. The problems can be solved. And you can solve between you and your brother and your cousin if there is any problems. Always there is problem. This is the life. If there is problems, there is not. It's not life. There's a problem, but we live together. We have very good communication. Actually, I told you that inside my school, the Latin Patriarchate School inside Taybeh, we have 70% of the school students, they are Muslims. They came or they coming from the surrounding villages. That means we are together since we were in the kindergarten until Tawjih, until high school. So all of that, we have very good communications. We have very good relations, and we have also limits of the relations and communications between each other. So there is a Palestinian Christian traditions, for example, in the wedding, and there is a traditional Palestinian Muslims in the wedding. It's not the same, but we can accept each other. We can respect the traditions from each to other, and we are also in discussion how we can live together and how we can protect ourselves together. So this is the point that we have very good communications. We have friends. Actually, inside the school, there is a students called me Abuna. That means father. They are Muslims, but called me Abuna. That means that they respect who is the responsible of this church at this school, and they respect also at the same time the church that I come from. So all that's happening inside Palestinian society, who's accept the others and accept the difference between and in the among of the Palestinian communities here in West Bank.
Buna, you've been very generous with your time, and we're approaching the end of this episode. I just want to ask you one last question. Uh, in Canada here, where Jerlin and I are, there are many Christians who are, I guess you could say they're indifferent to the Palestinian struggle. Many people here are by default cultural Zionists. In fact, we learned from Professor Mitri Raheb that in the West, pretty much everyone is by default a cultural Zionist. What is your message? What kind of message would you want to share to Western Christians who just refuse to see Palestinians, ignore the situation, or perhaps they're even weaponizing scripture in a way that is going to ignore your suffering, the kind of suffering that you've shared with us today?
I want to share with you 2 points for these Christians. First, you have to know the Bible well. The Bible is not limited and restricted by anyone. The Bible is open for all the people. If you open St. John Gospel, chapter 3, verses 16, God loves the word. So that's why they gave his son for the word. So you have to be open in the word, to be the open in the Bible. How you can understanding the Bible? You have to understand the Bible through by Jesus Christ himself and through by the peacemakers of Jesus Christ himself. And what also Jesus Christ gave to ourselves. We are all churches. We have difference between all of the churches, but we have to respect each other because we are from different backgrounds. We are from different traditions. We are from different atmospheres, and circumstances. But we can read the Bible in the same imagination, in the same meditation. This is the first point. The second point, I would to invite them to come, to be among us, to hear our stories, to see our realities. Come and see. Look like the disciples of John the Baptism when they went to Jesus Christ and told and asked Jesus Christ, Jesus, where you live? And he respond, come and see. And they stayed and remained with him in that night. So come and see, remain with us, hear our stories, see our realities. And when you see, when you hear, when you come, when you remain here, go tell the truth as it is. Don't don't give anyone opportunity to give you his dimension of the story and his definition of the story, of the cause of the issues. Go tell, search about the truth, find the truth, and tell the truth as it is. There is no color in the truth. Jesus is Jesus, Christ is Christ, and resurrection is one, not two or three. And Bible is one, not all two or three. And we can read the Bible because we can have the light of Jesus Christ in our heart, in our mind, in our eyes, in our tongues, and we can preach this meditation for other people because we are witnesses of Jesus Christ and we are disciples of Him in the worldwide.
Father Bashar, this has been such a great and helpful conversation. Thank you for shedding light on what's happening in Taybeh and kind of for sharing so much of your faith that grounds you in this work of hope and advocacy and resistance. We want you to know that we stand in solidarity with you and with everybody there, and we're so grateful for your ministry and for your commitment to peace and justice. May God's blessings be upon you.
Same to you.
Friend, thank you so much for joining us on Two Priests in Palestine, Episode 5, with Father Bashar Fawadleh from Christ the Redeemer Parish in Taybeh. Just as a reminder, you can find us on all socials for Two Priests in Palestine, fully written out in letters. Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube. We're so glad that you're joining us on this journey. Stay tuned for episode 6 and 7, also dropping today.